This is Joe Pryor with the virtualrealestateteam.com in Oklahoma City, a part of Redbud Realty and Associates. And if you're a first-time home buyer in the Oklahoma City market, I want to talk to you about looking at your first home in a little bit of a different way. I'm a 22-year veteran of real estate, and I have a large portfolio in terms of investment real estate. That's a passion of mine. Now you may wonder, what does selling investment and rental property have to do with me as a first-time home buyer? It's just very simply this. It is a way that I believe that you ought to look at your first purchase. Your first purchase certainly is not going to be your dream home, but it's that first impression, it's that first part of real estate where we need to get off on the right foot and get you the best possible value. Now, if we look at your first-time home as an investment property, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pretend as if you're renting the property from yourself. Now, what we do in that particular respect is, let's say we work out what the purchase price is going to be and what your payment is going to be, and that's $1,000 a month. Well, if we do an analysis of rental in your area and it says, well, this type of a house rents for $800 a month, we really know that we have a problem, because you should be paying less than rent in terms of what your monthly payment is going to be, regardless of factoring in the tax deductions that you may be able to get. And so we know maybe something is wrong about the market you're going into. Maybe there's too much rental property, and that's why it's $800. And if that's the case, you may not want to be there, because we need mostly owner occupants in order to drive appreciation. Or there may be problems in the area, not enough amenities, maybe a high crime rate. Something is driving that market down, and that is one of the ways that we can evaluate whether you're making the right buy or not. Now, the other thing about investment property is it is one of the ways that an appraiser looks at value. There's three ways that we look at value. There's the cost approach, or what it costs to buy a house or build a house. There is the comparable approach, what's selling around that particular house like it, and is that comparable to the price that you're purchasing it for? And then third, the economic model, which is rental. So if we know we get a particular price for the house, we can set values that way about what you're buying. Now finally, it is a situation that you may be in that, well, I'm not going to be in the house for very long, I'm not going to be there for 2 years. Very often I see first-time home buyers 5 years, 7 years, 10 years into a home before they buy another home. Maybe you're prudent with your money, maybe you want to save it up. And then what could happen at that particular point? If you bought a house that would be a good rental house that you're living in as a primary residence, then you may have the money to buy your second house, and then that house that is your first house can be a rental property for you. Something that can help pay for your child's college education, or add to your retirement, or just a positive cash flow with money that you have to spend like income. So if we look at your home as an investment property, even though you're going to be in there for a primary way of living in the house, it's going to be your personal house, I think that's a great way to look at buying your first home. Because let's face it, it's the biggest purchase you're ever going to make, and that is an investment. This is Joe Pryor with the virtualrealestateteam.com in Oklahoma City, where we deliver traditional real estate values at the speed of technology.